Hi, Leo, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your December 16th to the 31st, 2021 reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's see what the tarot has to say. Leo, December 16th to the 31st, 2021, Leo. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. The bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The middle, our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. At our root, we have the devil, which is Capricorn energy, and we have the wheel of fortune. So our angels, our spirit guides, are untangling a lot of the knots, a lot of the messes that we've been in, and we're actually seeing ourselves become unchained. And that's going to be really quite beautiful for us during this time, but for us just in general, it's almost like I'm stepping into freedom. It moves us to our inner self. We have the Four of Swords and the Two of Wands. We need to honor our journey, and we have the Two of Wands, our creation, our sense of I'm opening up the doors to the world, and I'm seeing where I stand and what I desire within my world for me. It brings us to our emotional self. The Ten of Pentacles and the Hangman. We see things differently now than we have before because we've come to the conclusion of a cycle within our finances, within the way that we look at money, and also within the way that we are dealing with money. The repeat of the number 10 shows us that we've come to a completion of a cycle. It's going to be a pretty big deal for us. And there's a sense here of calling wealth forward into our lives. Our public arena self. we have the Three of Cups, the Two of Cups, and the Three of Coins, the Three of Pentacles. The repeat of the number 3 here shows us that divinity is helping us to create and to cultivate. The repeat of the number 2 is showing that we're working as a team during this time. It isn't just going to be us alone, and there is a sense of real creativity coming forward during this time. So let's look at the energy we need to be mindful of. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. My goodness. Okay, Gemini energy just flew right out. This can be that we need to be mindful of Geminis, yes, most definitely. But this is also saying we need to be mindful of getting lost in the passion and the pleasure of things and not seeing the consequences of it. So just be aware of that, and that will be a game changer. We're also going to really be drawn in by people who are super passionate about something, but they don't have any long-term goals or inclination. They're just kind of winging it. And though that can be fun, that's not necessarily what we want to build our lives off of. Then we have our chakra energy, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. We have right here play. It is the heart chakra. We need to call play into our life and into ourselves. We need to embrace joy. And also the thing with the heart chakra and play, and the things with human beings and play, is that human beings cannot play. We cannot truly laugh, cannot truly be happy if we do not feel safe, if we do not feel secure. And so here, when we're embracing play, we're also starting to feel safe within our lives again, safe within what we want and what we desire and the way that we're moving forward. Now let's look at this time astrologically and see how it computes to what the tarot is telling us. On the 17th of December, we have the Sun sextile Pluto. Now, this is going to be important because, Leo, we're ruled by the sun. So when the sun comes forward, it hits us. It's going to hit us hard. And this is something that we want to hit us hard. It is a fantastic time. It's a fantastic influencer. This makes us magnetic and it makes us charming. We are driven and we are determined. And it's almost as if we focus enough, if we look at the bigger picture, we can have things move forward the way that we want them to. This is the time to take the adventure. This is the time to open up the door. We also have on the 17th of December, the Sun sextile Venus. Now this adds to the power of the Sun sextile Pluto because it heightens our energy vibration of love, and it helps us to focus on our success and what we truly want. Love and money is on our side during this time. Our opportunities are open to us, and we're just being told to take them. We're being told to walk through that door. On the 18th of December, we have the full moon in Gemini. Now, because we're being told to be mindful of Gemini energy, this full moon can be a little bit tricky for us, and we're going to have a separate video all about that. On the 19th of December, Mercury is squared Chiron. Now, this configuration can make us anxious around our words, around being misunderstood, around saying the wrong things. We can have this kind of just absolute fear that we're just going to set things off in the wrong way. We have to realize that if we come from a place of compassion and peace and love, and if somebody takes the words wrong, then that's something that has to happen. This is going to be something that we have to come to a head to. Now, it can also be just on them. They have to see our intentions and ourselves, but we can't be truly passive during this time because it's going to cause us too much anxiety. Come from a place of peace, and peace will follow. It will. Also on the 19th of December, we have Venus going into retrograde until the 1st of January. And this retrograde is going to be a little bit challenging for us because Venus is aligned with Pluto during this time. If it was aligned differently, it would be a little bit of a smoother, retrograde. But because it's aligned with Pluto, it's going to be a bit more challenging. And there's going to be this a little bit of tension around truly connecting with what our heart wants, of what we desire, and around the relationships that we want to build up during this time. Also on the 19th of December, we have the Sun sextile Jupiter. Now, this is a really good thing. So we have with Mercury squared Chiron on the 19th, we have ourselves, anxious around words. Then we have Venus going into retrograde on the 19th. So love and expressing that love just kind of gets mumbled, which doesn't help that, things aren't being communicated the way that we want them to. But then the Sun sextile Jupiter comes in and kind of saves the day. With this energy, luck comes on our side. We start to align with luck, and it can kind of smooth things over just a bit. We need to embrace our enthusiasm, our self-confidence, and, letting ourselves say, I'm in the right place, in the right time, I am powerful. And again, that sun energy just really lets us shine. So this is going to be a time that can be really great for us. Even though everything else can make us feel like we're misstepping, we can really shine forward and kind of like fake it till we make it on this day. On the 20th of December, we have Mercury semi-sextile Saturn. Now this alignment is going to get things done. We're going to be focused. We're going to see the bigger picture. We're going to, have excellent memories and be able to do what we need to do in order to succeed the way that we want to succeed. We're going to have a tendency to overthink and overanalyze, so do be mindful of that. Also, on the 20th of December, Mercury is trine Uranus. Now, this is an amazing alignment. It is brilliant. It is creative. It makes us a bit brilliant and powerfully creative, especially since we have the repeat of the number 2 here. We need to express ourselves, and we need to be willing to express ourselves. We are almost going to see things like before they happen. This is a time where everybody's going to just be a little bit psychic, a little bit more connected, a little bit more plugged in than they usually are. So this is going to be a day where it's hard to pull the wool over somebody's eyes, or this is also going to be a time where we're like, well, how did you know that? How did you know that that's really what I felt or really what I wanted to say, even though I didn't say it? We're going to see it for others, but we're also going to have it done on us, which, Leo, I just feel we're a little bit uncomfortable with, but it's going to be powerful if we focus it. We're going to be really surprised at the way things work out. On the 21st of December, we have the winter solstice. It is the last day of Sagittarius as we move into Capricorn energy. So this is going to be a time where, fire turns into earth energy. We find ourselves just a little bit more grounded. So that's going to be really good. And we're going to have a separate video done on that. On the 23rd of December, the North Lunar Node is in Gemini. So that is an energy that we've had to watch out for, or we're being told to watch out for, but it's entering into Taurus. So what we have to just be mindful of is all the curiosity of all the ideas that have come up because of the North Lunar Node in Gemini. Remember, the North Lunar Node is seen as the head of the dragon. The South Lunar Node is the tail. This is the head is, of course, the expression, the words, the embracing, the ideas. And so this is going to be a time where we've had a lot come forward for us. Maybe that we didn't necessarily want, but it's powerful and it's there anyway. And so as we're looking at this, we've had so many questions, so many ideas come forward. Now we have the earth sign energy of Taurus coming in, and we're seeing how to plant, how to settle those ideas. On the 24th of December, Saturn is squared Uranus, and this is Christmas Eve for those who celebrate. This alignment makes us strong and independent and aware and progressive. We're also going to have a tendency towards creativity and spontaneity, but we're also really going to have a strong sense of responsibility and appreciate the stability and the structure of tradition. So this is going to be a time where we might start new traditions for ourselves, or really being embracing the old traditions, especially since we need to honor our past and everything that we've been through. On the 25th of December, for those who celebrate, it is Christmas, and this is Venus conjunct Pluto. Love is all around us, and we need to embrace love and our hearts and what we desire, and that sense of brilliance coming forward. Now, with the Three of Cups, I always see the Three of Cups as a little bit more complex. So the Three of Cups for me are the people who raised their glass to us, or who were supposed to raise their glass to us, but couldn't celebrate us. They couldn't do it. It's like the parent who was supposed to be there but walked out. It's the lover who was supposed to stick around but left. It's the times where we thought, oh, these are my people, and they weren't. And so here it can bring mixed emotions, especially on the 25th of December, where we really want love. We really want to be loved and to be connected. And so just be aware of this. On the 25th of December, also, we have Mars conjunct Chiron. Now, the fire energy of Mars makes this a fiery time for us. We also have the wounded warrior energy of Chiron. So we're going to be a bit aggressive in the way that we can love, in the way that we show our appreciation and our love for others. So be mindful of this, especially if we have a whole bunch of family and friends over, we're celebrating Christmas, that we can be a little aggressive, and everybody can be a little aggressive and showing their appreciation for each other, which just sounds silly, but actually can cause some friction. So just be aware of that. On the 26th of December, we have Mercury sextile Neptune. Now, this alignment makes us extremely sensitive to the world around us and has powerful psychic developments, coming forward, powerful intuition coming forward. We need to be kind to ourselves on this day, and we need to listen to our instincts. On the 27th of December, Jupiter is squared the North lunar node. This is known as a philosophical time. This is meaning that we're questioning and we're looking and we're seeking deeper answers. On the 29th of December, we have a lot happening. So we first have the Sun squared Chiron, which again, because we're Leo energy, we feel the sun more than others do. This makes us align with passion and intensity. The sun really illuminates, while the wounded warrior has us feeling other people's pain. So this is illuminating for us the pains of others, which can very well become overwhelming. December 29th also has Mercury conjunct Venus. Now, this is a loving, refined, and honest energy. We can be passionate and a bit submissive, meaning not like, okay, I don't care what happens, but if we don't have big emotions on it, we're like, yeah, okay, whatever you think is fine. So just be aware of that. If we need to be a little bit more proactive or a little bit more expressive because of the fact that we're feeling everybody else so much, we're feeling everybody else's energy, don't be afraid to speak up. On the 29th of December, we also have Jupiter entering into Pisces. Now, this increases the sensitivity of things because Jupiter and Pisces have a lot in common. The spirituality of it all, the growing of the individual, the wisdom. We are going to see a lot of Piscean energy increasing within our lives and coming forward, meaning that we become more compassionate and more self-sacrificing. We will also have to be mindful about the energy that we're letting into our lives, because we're going to find that we are, again, psychically gifted on this day, that we take things in and it's like, whoa, how do I know? Like, how am I connecting? And that's going to be a little bit intense for us, especially since we're releasing so much negativity from our lives, that this psychic instinct is going to be really quite intense. On the 30th of December, we have Mercury conjunct Pluto. This alignment is of powerful intellect and intense curiosity. We are astoundingly intense, and we have this unique way of communicating. Actually, everybody has a unique way of communicating, which is making people listen, but can also make things a little bit more complicated. So be aware of that. Also on the 30th of December, we have Mars sextile Saturn, which makes us driven and very focused. We are cautious and calm on the exterior. Interiorly, oh my gosh, are we intense and working hard and positively ambitious? Think of us like a duck on the 30th. We are calm on the surface, and underneath we are paddling like mad. So we're going to be determined to get our goals, to succeed and to achieve. This is amplified because we are Leos. This is our thing. We like to succeed. We like to achieve. We like to win. So just be aware of that this could be very intense on this day. Lilith also remains direct for the whole month of December and is in Gemini for this whole time. And again, Gemini energy is something we have to be mindful of. So we need to just be aware that we are fantastic talkers, but we are really going to skim over things that we don't think are, nice. We're going to be like, just sweep that under the rug. It doesn't need to be spoken about. But you know what? Sometimes it does. We're also going to find that we bore easily and we like the chase of things rather than the actual acquisition. So be aware of that. With the devil at our root, there are things that we're chained to. Addictions can be coming up. Hurts, pains, disappointments, things that have made us feel like, this big, like less than an inch big. Now we're going to start to see ourselves looking at them and saying, why? Why am I chained to this? Why am I seeing things this way? Why am I being held back? The devil comes forward and the devil says, do you want to stay here? Now, this place that we have been can be a place that we have been for a very long time. A sacrificing of ourselves, a sense of this is what society wants me to do. This is what I'm supposed to do. These are the responsibilities that I've taken on. Now, not at all am I saying don't uphold your responsibilities. I am a firm believer in our responsibilities, in carrying the burdens that we have and making the best out of situations. But here it's looking at things and saying, is my life aligning with my heart, with my soul, with myself, with what I need to express for me? It brings us to the wheel of fortune. It brings us to our angels, our spirit guides, our connection with the earth, starting to untangle the mess that we have gotten ourselves in. Meaning that we're moving away from ego and we're stepping into a higher force, or we're letting a higher being come forward. Now, whether this is an abstraction, an angel, divinity, or if this is something that we need to be more finite during this time, connecting with the earth, meditating, sitting outside. If it's super cold where you are, like where I am, maybe sitting in the sun inside, or just bundling up really well and going outside and breathing in the crisp air. We're going to see a lot of the tension that is around us starting to unravel, or at least starting to come forward and saying, why is it here? Why is it keeping me chained? What is it that I desire? And that's where we're going to really have to honor our story and the path that we have been on. Even if we don't want to honor it, even if we think, I've made so many mistakes, or it's been so hard, or it's been so overwhelming, how can I possibly justify this? Or, what does it even mean? Or why do I have to look back? I'm just going to keep on moving forward. It's because there's power in the honoring of a story. That's why in ancient times, people told stories. There's power in stories. That's why we gather around the TV, or we pick up books to be transported into other worlds, into other people's stories. And so we need to honor our own, because it is the tale of our existence. It is the passion and the brilliance of ourselves. And so we need to slow down. We need to connect. We need to embrace. We need to look at what we desire. And as we do so, we need to honor our road. And as we're honoring our road and ourselves, we're going to see doorways open. We're going to see our life opening to us. We hold the world in our hands. And as we hold the world in our hands, we are going to start to see that we can move forward in passion. We can move forward in intuition. We can move forward towards what we want more and more. And as we do this, we move forward towards who we are. We're going to start to say, where do I want to stand within this world? Why do I want to stand here? What's important to me? What isn't important to me? How is it that I want to shape my world and my existence? And we're going to start to see ourselves as being way more powerful than we thought. And it moves us to the 10 of Pentacles. It moves us to prosperity and success. It moves us emotionally to looking at things in such a better way. It's like, oh wow, there's a blessing here. Instead of looking at things as curses, because we so often look at things as generational curses, this is a generational blessing. This is like, there's power, there's brilliance, there's beauty. Take it in. Take it in. Look at that blessing. Look at all the good instead of all the bad. It's so easy to be pushed down. It's so easy to be silenced. It's so easy to be overwhelmed. And yet this is looking at how we can come together as a community, how we connect with our angels and our spirit guides and what we desire, how we can open up the doors to bounty and let that bounty in. And that bounty could be money or what we value as much as money. It's looking at things differently. It's also knowing that we've come to a completion of a cycle. We've learned something. What have we learned? And how do we incorporate it? The Hangman, we don't see things the same way. We just don't. Now, this can be that we don't see things the same as the people around us, which can be a little bit awkward, but we need to look at the way that we're seeing things. We also need to embrace the way that we're seeing things, or express the way that we're seeing things, and say, well, this is how I see it. Here, we're stuck between the spirit world and the earthly plane. So there's power here, there's insight here. What are we seeing? What are we feeling, and why? How are we opening up the door, and where are we headed? The Hangman has us being different. Different doesn't necessarily mean bad. And as we embrace that knowledge, we start to embrace ourselves. And it moves us to the 3 of Cups. It moves us to understanding that a lot of time we have given a lot of credence to the words of people who, again, stood up and were supposed to celebrate us, or did celebrate us, and now don't. And because we're giving credence to those words of negativity, of hurt and pain, thinking, if I just make myself better, maybe they'll love me again, or maybe, the hurt will go away. What we need to see, or we need to see the people who celebrate us, the people who have stood by us, or we need to see our connection with spirit, with the world around us, with either the earth that we walk upon, or our connection with the abstraction of divinity, and have that come forward. And sometimes it's hard. Sometimes belief is hard. And sometimes we might look at the world and say, there's so much hurt and pain here. How can there be an all-knowing, all-seeing, all-caring being that is meant to heal it all? So sometimes we need to believe in the earth that we walk on, the food that nourishes us, the water that quenches our thirst, the trees that grow. Sometimes we need that, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. Here we're looking at those who were supposed to be by us, and those who truly are. And we're seeing the difference. And we're also starting to see the difference within ourselves, by the energy that celebrates us, or the energy that degrades us, defiles us, hurts us. it moves us, oh goodness, it moves us to the Two of Cups. It moves us to the Minor Arcana Lover's card. It moves us to love and connection, insight and unity and ideas. It starts to open our world. We move forward to this place of brilliance. And it brings us to the Three of Coins. It brings us to honoring our prosperity, working together with the different aspects of ourselves, the child, the adult, the wisdom, very much a all-encompassing, configuration of the maiden, the mother, the crone. Here we're going to see that there's an honor to working together. There's an honor to coming together. During this time, we will not be fully alone. We need that connection. And we need to also, take in and embrace our prosperity and our responsibilities and see what lies ahead, because there's bounty here. And there's bounty in the connection of ideas that we haven't seen before. It moves us to our subconscious energy to be mindful of, and it's the Princess of Wands. It's moving forward with half-strung ideas. It's moving forward with more zealotness than steadiness. So just be aware of that. And we're just going to be so intoxicantly, that's not a word. We're going to be intoxicated, there we go, by people who are doing and achieving and pushing boundaries. So just be aware of that during this time. And we're going to think, oh yes, but there's going to be a sense of they're not thinking it through. It brings us to our subconscious chakra energy, which is family, the root chakra. We need to be around our roots. We need to connect with our roots. Now, whether that's through meditation and, and spiritually connecting with our ancestral line or with our past life line, or if this is being around family and friends who have become like family, it's letting us be loved. And it's opening up the door to that love. It brings us to our subconscious rooted energy, and that's strength. That's the very essence of us. We are the lion. We are, the person walking with the lion. We are strength that is shocking at first when people see it, but we're also the strength of compassion. A highly developed Leo is a person of heart and of courage and of love and respect and brilliance. A person who sees and who says, I stand by you. And when I stand by you till the end of time. That's what we're embracing here. We're not embracing the big muscles. We're not embracing this idea of strength that can easily be spotted with the eye. What we're looking at is the strength of the heart and the compassion of the soul. And the fact that it is because the lion is loved and content within that love that he walks beside us. Fierceness comes through respect. It moves us to our subconscious inner self. And it's the Ace of Swords. It's God's source spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, handing us a gift of knowledge, of cutting through doubts and fears and negativity, embracing our voice, embracing the way that we want to move forward within our lives. It's clarity. It brings us our subconscious emotional self. And that's the Two of Swords. We always thought there were two roads. And now we're seeing the paths open. And it's not through our eyes. The new roads open. It's through our heart and our instinct and our wisdom and the connection with ourselves that starts to break down barriers. It brings us our subconscious public arena self. And that is the Queen of Swords. We take that gift. We take that gift of knowledge and of clarity. Is it going to be as if it was from the same deck? No, it's not. It's going to be a little bit more different. It's going to be a longer road to taking this gift. But what we're going to see is that there's a fierceness of mind, a fierceness of what we desire, a clarity of insight that is the game changer. And as we see this, we are the warrior. We are the warrior of our words. We are the warrior of what we desire. We are the warrior of where we need to be. And we're cutting down the opposition. Not that we're going after people. We are looking at the barriers within our own lives and we're saying no more. I was created for this. I was created to succeed. And that's what I'm embracing. All right, Leo. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power and the intensity of this time. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Leo.